So this was a pretty interesting arena run that showed off the power of Microbe and Vulture. I'm using a pack that is specifically made for summons in this one, so you'll see pretty much everything with the Feint ability in this deck is in this deck. So the Frill Dragon is just an absolutely amazing start. I think that Frill Dragon and Ant, I've already said this, but yeah, Frill Dragon and Ant is pretty much like the strongest start possible. It's so hard to beat that. You get so many stats. Like you get +3/+3, plus you're getting the whole +2/+1. It just ends up being really good. Unfortunately, I only get one Frill Dragon this round, but I got two Ants. So it's still going to be 3/4 plus, those Ant buffs and the Moth buffs. Still a relatively strong team, just kind of loses to maybe a whole bunch of mosquitoes, not really sure. And there we go. So yeah, won the first, or didn't win the first round. Okay. But I at least didn't lose one of the first rounds, which is always nice because then I can just throw later if I want to and get the build going. So the bear is an interesting unit. I still think it's pretty bad, but it does have some purposes. Mainly it's aardvark, and also the honey replaces any equipment that they have. So if you are worried about like a lemon at the front or something like that, you can just sacrifice the bear and replace it with honey. I think the aardvark is probably the better thing for it. But yeah, I don't keep it around. Just go ahead and buy a stork. Get as many summons as possible, pretty much. And I can combine the ants or just combine the storks. Either one works, and there's a great roll. Get 2 level ups next turn and get 2 early tier 4s. There's what is the best like tier 4? Probably lobster or something like that. Lobster just feels like it's amazing unit. It lets you pivot into anything you want, and it gives such good stats. Just overall, really good unit. So let's see. Parrot is pretty good, and then Microbe. Alright, so there's the Microbe. I mentioned it at the start, but yeah, so the Microbe strat, obviously it makes everything weak, and then the idea is pretty much summon a whole bunch of things, and it's like a death by 1,000 punches. I think that's like a saying or something like that. But since you just spawn so many things and everything is weakened, you're going to deal a whole bunch of damage. And look at that, it spawned a Flamingo. That was free +2/+2. And eventually add in a Vulture, and the Vulture is going to deal 3 extra damage. So instead of just dealing 2, it's going to deal 5, and then potentially get up to 9 when it is level 3. This also means that you can't put any equipment on your own team, of course. So no 1-ups, no pineapples, none of that kind of stuff. But that's okay, because it usually ends up being pretty good anyway. I think being able to replace like lemon or, yeah, just lemon really, garlic I guess, is just a huge benefit and makes things really good, I think. You'll see. I mean, I tried this out a few times and just really surprised at how many times this actually worked. I could potentially show just like one of the previous runs that I also had just won before this, or the one before this, but like, yeah, it was going way too well. And then I took a whale and got level 2 whale just for a chance at like early vulture pretty much, and I got early turkey, which is pretty good, but it wasn't the purpose of this build. I personally just wanted to go for vulture, and deer is also perfect. I should really think about taking deer. And I let the parrot copy the whale ability. That's bad, because now it's going to swallow the whale. And would you look at that? I do get a whole bunch of sheep, but it's not going to be enough. I don't have the vulture yet, so this team's not going to be able to pop off just yet. I think in order to win these couple rounds, I definitely should have just gone whale deer, and that would have been plenty. But instead, I messed up and sacrificed 1 life. But you know what? That was all just planned, so I can see one more round of this beautiful team towards the end. It's all thought out, kind of. I mean, not really, but like, let's just pretend that it is, because that makes me seem smarter. So the problem, hippo, of course, and rhino, just absolutely destroyed by a single hippo, since I don't have this vulture yet. But it's okay. Now is tier 5, I can finally buy this vulture that I always dreamed of getting, and there we go. I could have bought a can first, decided against it. Instead, let's just try to level everything up. Yeah, so no equipment really helps besides against sniping teams, and the main sniper I feel like that is most prevalent in these is crocodile. So just able to survive at least 1 crocodile hit. Level 2 crocodile will still kill, but for now it seems like it's pretty good. So they have a vulture of their own, which is a little scary because it cost me a couple of summons, as you can see, and it's just a sniping war back and forth. But in the end, my team wins out because I got Parrot Vulture, so eat that, and it's pretty good. And at this point, I'm pretty much just looking to level anything up. This is pretty much the entire team. I could replace the sheep with Anteater. It is slightly better since it gives those +2, +1 stats and has, I guess, a slightly better stats as well. I'm not actually sure. Sheep is 2-2. What is Anteater? 3-2? Like one extra attack? Sure. But yeah, the ants, I guess, will help out too. And look at this damage, 7-5, 7-5, dealing 12 damage every time something faints. And I'm getting a lot of triggers off of this. I'm getting 1, 2, 3, and then 4 more. So I'm getting 7 triggers off of this, getting level 3 parrot. Now it's going to deal 9 damage. And I can finally also put something on the microbe, like a 1-up or popcorn. I think popcorn is just way better because, I mean, 1-up's just going to spawn a 1-1. So ideally, just get that extra popcorn. They have armadillo, but it doesn't really matter. Just the sniping is doing wonderful things. They do snipe my vulture, which is a little bit unfortunate, but still just completely running through these teams, steamrolling. White tiger would be a lot of fun, but sadly it would make me lose out on quite a few spawns and almost rolled past that popcorn. That would have been sad. And melon, just in case of a sniper again. Like lynx, leopard, probably not going to run into too many of those teams, but it does occasionally happen, and you got to be aware of that. I guess dolphin also. So the weakness on everything, perfect, and let the sniping begin. 9 damage, 7 damage, 9 damage, 7 damage, and okay, that one didn't actually have weakness, but still dealing 6 + 4, that's still a solid 10 damage. And I'm already at 9 wins, so this is kind of the point where it's like, I don't even mind if I lose this next round just because I get to see one more round of potential sniping, and it's always fun. Although the later you get into the game, the more likely you are to see leopards, I think. Although, well, I don't know if that's necessarily true. I feel like it should be true, though, right? Bought a sushi. Now I guess like the anteater won't die to splash attack. That's sometimes a relevant health to get above 5. So hippo, you would think, okay, well, I'm probably dead against hippo, right? But no, not even close. You can see how much damage this vulture team is able to do. And like most teams didn't even stand a chance. There's just an easy 10 wins. It's pretty cool to see. I can show an alternate, and I'll go ahead and just play the previous round as well, just so you get some extra content. Why not? Alright, and here it is, the White Tiger Orca team. So, unfortunately, I was really hoping to get the level 2 White Tiger, but I just fell one round short because I was already at 9 wins. And you can see the team that I'm going up against. We got the Microbe, the level 3 Anteater, so that's some serious extra attack right there. And then finally the Orca, which spawns 3 things, spawns an additional sheep, so even though they get Gorilla, it doesn't really matter. Spawns a Piranha, and there we go. So not even the Parrot Vulture, but just the level 1 Vulture was able to do it that time. Anyway, thanks for watching. See ya.